Hello everyone and welcome back. Say hello to my beautiful ladies.
Hi.
We have something pretty important to talk about this week. After watching this week's episode, you see, not everyone's like this, but I happen to be like this. I absorb whatever is going on around me. So if someone's angry, and I wrote this on my Bravo blog, there were so many emotions going on in that Florida house that I couldn't keep up. You saw me running to Amber, it's going to be okay. You saw me running to Nicole, let me take her away. Like, I felt like I was responsible for everyone's feelings, which I was not, but I felt I was. I also, when doing this, I absorbed what everybody was feeling, from anger, Jim, Bobby, Teresa, to poor Nicole. Like, her sorrow was just like real, and she was like, that scene in the kitchen, she was crying. I'm like getting chills thinking about it right now, and I want to cry for her again. And Amber was trying to stop Jim, and I was overwhelmed because I just wanted everybody to be nice. I didn't want this stupid rumor to come out. I just want everything to go away, and I absorbed it all, and all of a sudden I'm crying tears that were not my own. I'm like, what's going on? I broke down and I'm like crying. It had nothing to do with the fact that I said something. I stand by what I did by telling the girls. The only regret that I have in telling the girls is I really wish I had done it off camera before Florida that night, called them at 2 a.m. or text them, but I probably would have gotten fired. But in hindsight, I really don't care if I got fired. But, so it wasn't any of that. I wasn't taking on my own feelings of guilt, nothing at that point. It was 1,000% absorbing everybody else's emotions. So, ladies, I know you know how to protect us from doing this sort of thing. And like I said, not everybody is as sensitive as I am, but we all have a tendency to be able to do this.
I think I'll start with what I think it is for many people, whether you are as much of an empath as you are, right? So an empath is someone who is very, very highly sensitive to other people's feelings. So you can walk into a room, and if there's somebody angry in the back, you can feel that feeling before you even get to them. And I do as well, and so does Lara, so we understand. But even if you aren't that sensitive, there's still a problem with boundaries, because this is what happens, where there's a melding of boundaries, where if your boundaries aren't good and you're not being able to protect yourself because someone is saying, I need you to tell this person, I need you to not tell this person, you got sort of sucked into a situation where you were, as we discussed last week, you were damned if you do and damned if you don't. And that was a problem. So when we get appropriate boundaries going in our lives, it's easier to not be in that feeling. There's a whole codependent element also to feeling other people's feelings, which is not the same as the empath piece. It's how we relate to others. You came from a very big family. If one of your sisters was in pain when you were younger, did that bother you?
Yeah, of course.
Right. Did you want to go to them and be like, let me?
It didn't even have to be a sister. It could be a neighbor or a kid in school. I'm just extra sensitive.
You are. But that's also how we love. And yet the truth in that scenario that you were talking about down there is that those weren't your tears. That was being overly identified with someone else's pain, someone else's betrayal, someone else's damage. So what I'm going to give you guys this week in reference to this is a bunch of information about boundaries and about codependency and how to protect yourself emotionally. And Lara will handle the energetic piece. Does that make sense?
Sure.
All right, so you do your thing.
So we actually, one of the exercises I'm going to give you already know. It's from one of the other blogs, because this has been
but this one's so important. I'm glad we're going over it again.
Yeah, it's really important that you guys get this, because it's actually so easy, and it really is so protective. It is the zip up, okay? And it is the way for you to literally draw an energetic boundary between you, and the world. And some of the results that my clients have reported with this have been astounding. I mean, relationships that were really, really hard with people's mother-in-laws and in-laws have improved simply because of zipping up. And if you know anybody out there that's passive-aggressive, literally zipping up will yourself will change their behavior. It's absolutely phenomenal. Then the other thing I'm going to give you for extra support is auric weaving. So everybody has an auric field. I know it sounds a little bit weird. We have a little bit of an energetic cloud around us. Sometimes when you go to some of these health expos, people take pictures of them. Sometimes people can see them. I'm just telling you, it's a protective energy around you. And if you rub your hands together, actually,
Let's do it.
let's just do it.
So you're talking about aura, right?
Aura.
Auric?
Yeah. Aura.
Okay.
You've heard of that. Your aura.
Yeah,
your aura.
It's actually
Right.
something that's not, it's real, guys.
So how far off? The average aura is like, what is it, 12 feet? Is that what it?
Oh, they can go really far. But let me just
depending
give them an understanding. So if you rub your hands together and you bring them together this way, can you feel the heat in your hands? That's actually your auric field, all right?
Oh, that's
it's
not even
around you. And that just brought it up to the surface and gave it a little bit more energy so that you could feel it. That's all around you. And what can happen with your auric field is it can have holes in it. It can move a little bit away from you so that stuff can kind of get underneath. And it also can be very diminished. And this can happen from electromagnetic frequencies, loud noises. It actually can also happen from people's emotional intentions as well. And if somebody's got a very, very pointed statement they're directing toward you, that can cut through your aura as well. So one of the things we want to do is keep it nice and solid and thick and really close any holes in it so that we won't be at the mercy of our surroundings and our environment. So this is a really important health tip just for living in this world. I mean, there's a Wi-Fi tower on every single building these days, and we're all on our cell phones. Doing this will actually help protect you. So there's a video for that as well. So you can be super
is so
protected.
important. And a lot of elements went into our Florida trip as well. I mean, we were on a plane. We were drinking a lot of tequila.
That messes with your
So
field.
I probably forgot to zip up and clean. I don't recall at all doing that. Which normally in a situation that I know is going to be tense, I will be zipping up like crazy. Whether people like, well, what is she doing? I'll do it in public. I don't care.
Yeah.
But there was tequila involved, so I don't recall doing it. I'm sure I didn't.
I'm sure you didn't too.
But coming off of an airplane with those, that energy field and all the people in one spot, and everything, like there's a lot that can break your aura down. So use these videos. I cannot tell you enough to use them, because I am like proof of when I do use them, how grounded and how solid I am, what a difference it really makes. So yeah, go on and do it.
I think that it's not what both of us are giving this week, and what you're talking about is so common. Your experience is so common, and I know that people watching are having this experience, and we're really only talking about becoming mindful and doing some really simple exercises for you to go out into the world not feeling everything that is happening out there, where you're really able to protect yourself. So I really hope that you guys will take the time to do it.
Yep, especially with the holidays coming on, you gotta zip up on those family dinners.
Seriously.
Yep.
All right,
Absolutely,
so
guys.
we'll see you next week. I'm not sure what they're gonna do next week. Who knows how they're gonna play out the ending of this, but I'm sure it will be dramatic. See you guys next week.